I'm Ben Fazul and welcome. Tens of thousands of government supporters are calling for the resignation of Pakistan's Chief Justice. Imran Khan says the problem is the military and government, which he says conspired to oust him from politics. Trust in the nation's institutions is running low. I'll talk about that with well-known academic Ashok Swain in a moment. First, the latest developments.
This is a rare sight in Pakistan. Government supporters protesting against the Supreme Court. They blame the judiciary for being biased towards their political opponent, Imran Khan.
This building of the Supreme Court was supposed to bring justice and to give justice to those in need. But some facilitators were busy murdering justice day and night.
Last week, Khan was arrested by the country's anti-corruption agency. But he has been getting relief from the courts. He was later released on bail. Khan has publicly accused the top military leadership of conspiring with the government of not only ousting him from politics, but for plotting a plan to kill him. An allegation the military and the government deny. A hugely popular figure in Pakistan, Khan faces several court cases of corruption and even terrorism. Khan says the military was behind his arrest.
It was the army which abducted me. And nothing happens without the permission of the army chief. That's how the army works. So clearly, he had ordered the abduction.
His arrest sparked countrywide violent protests. Protesters ransacked military buildings and set them ablaze. Scenes long considered unimaginable in Pakistan. The army now plans to try those attackers under military rules, something human rights activists oppose. Few have dared to directly challenge the army that has been behind 3 military coups and ruled Pakistan for over 3 decades. And many believe the army was always the real power behind democratic governments. The world, especially the neighboring countries, are watching how this protracted political crisis will unfold.
Professor of Peace and Conflict Research Ashok Swain joins us. You've been following this unfolding crisis in Pakistan. What do you make of the government's actions, the charges against Imran Khan and now the Supreme Court?
I think this is not new that in Pakistan that former prime ministers are often taken to jail. It's probably the 5th prime minister who is facing this kind of charges, or at least the threats of taking to jail. The problem is that Imran Khan is hugely popular, unlike previous prime minister, those who have been deposed. Imran Khan has been asking for a new election, which the government doesn't want to. And I think these are the charges which have been, there are several charges, several cases have been against him, mostly on the basis of corruption allegation. And they want to arrest him. And that's something which makes it quite difficult to fathom at this point of time when the country is really going through serious economic crisis. It actually needs the IMF to rescue its economy, which is in a very, very bad shape. It is also facing increased terror threats, particularly after Afghanistan came under the so that the Islamist groups in the Pakistan, they have gained strength. So it's very difficult to really realize that why a present government will be taking up this task of arresting the most popular opposition leader at this time and create more political disturbances. But this is only way that I think not to stop the election in the country.
Are there signs, though, here for you that Pakistan's institutions are failing the people?
Pakistan's institutions, you see, they have never been strong, except the military or army, which has been considered as the strongest and most reliable institution of that country since its creation in 1947. But unfortunately, the army has lost a lot of its credibility, which probably the country had never seen it since 1971 war and the defeat and the creation of Bangladesh that time. So for the first time, you see the Pakistanis are coming out openly criticizing army, even, army chief, the army generals' houses are being targeted, attacked. So the only institution which had really acceptance or complete acceptance in the country, which is the military, has lost its credibility. Of course, they have very little credibility of the political leadership, political institutions. But Supreme Court has become highly politically divided in this politically surcharged atmosphere in the country.
Well, let me ask you this. Could the whole situation spiral out of control for Pakistan?
Yes, it has the possibility. The thing is that, as I said, the economy is a terrible state. There has been the political leadership has no legitimacy. The military, which has been the main force of the uniting factor of the country, has lost its lots of credibility. And then the way the Taliban in Afghanistan and the Islamist forces have got the strength in the country. So it's a deadly cocktail. It can lead to anything. The question, as I mentioned, but I think it has also, we should realize that it has 170 nuclear weapons in its arsenal, besides other, lots of high-tech weapons, all sorts of things. It has a huge military investment it has before. So I think it will be for the global good, the Pakistan should not explode. Then it will be an extremely, extremely difficult situation, not only for the regional security, not only for Pakistan's stability, but also for the rest of the world. So I think it's very important that for the world, it should not explode to that extent. But it's a very serious situation.
So, Professor, what is the way out of this political crisis then?
That's an extremely important question at this point. I think it is the political process the country needs to go through. And I think the election as I see it, the government and military should ask the government to go out for immediate election, declaring an election. And once the election takes place, then, whether Imran Khan comes to power or if he gets defeated in the election, he will not have the same kind of legitimacy the way he is taking the country to this kind of every other day political oppositions and the large rallies all over. So I think in a sense, to my mind, if they declare an early election, this might start the process getting back to some extent. Some sort of political process will move, and this will also get particularly the military to bring back certain kind of legitimacy to stay out of political interference, give the government and the opposition to play out in the politics and elections. And I think that will be probably the only way out, as I can see, from this kind of situation.
Ashok Swain, thank you very much for your views.
It's my pleasure talking to you.